Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello, and welcome back to the channel where you join me today at Dub Customs with the newest of the Shmeemobiles, the GR Yaris, which today is going to be getting a transformation with a rally tribute livery. Now back in the 90s when I was younger, I was always in the arcades playing on that. And yes, I have bought a SEGA Rally twin arcade to go in the Shmuseum, but back then it was always the Delta Integrale and the Martini livery against the car I would always drive, the Toyota GT-four Celica in the famous green and red of the Castrol livery. That was a big time for Toyota in the WRC. This is a car that they've introduced as a road-going homologation special for the intended GR Yaris rally car as well, so we're going to be giving it a makeover today with a design. I'll take you through the process, and later on we will have it complete. Up to this point, I have not driven the little GR Yaris all that much, I must be honest. I collected it, the weather was horrible, as it is again today. It's driven a total of about 74 miles, but it is time now for a makeover. This is a circuit pack car, but we will be doing quite a few changes down the line. It's going to be a bit of a project. It's in the pearlescent white paintwork, which does look really very nice. And if you think about some of the other Shmeemobiles, I've often made modern takes on the older liveries, like with the blue and orange that you have on the GT8, the red and gold on the Ford GT, and that's the play that we're going to be making with this. I'll show you the exact colours that we're going to be using in a moment, but let me come through because I am officially crazy. I have genuinely bought a SEGA Rally arcade machine because, well, I think this is just infinitely cool. I've just had my first go at it, and what a blast from the past playing with this was. Racing, as I said, in the car wearing that livery against the car wearing the Martini livery, the Lancia Delta HF Integrale. What a memory for me, and that's obviously going to live in the Shmuseum when this is all done. Speaking of which, you can see that I've been around the car trying to give a bit of an outline as to how we're going to do this. It's not final, but using the lining tape, we're then going to be taking that and using it to plot out the colours specifically to make sure that we get all of this as right as possible. Obviously here it's gone a little bit chaotic and haywire, but there's plenty to get done with this. It's going to take us a while to get around it all before fitting the number plates back on as well. And one other thing to show you as a bit of fun, I am wearing the heel tread socks that match. It had to be done. I know it's cheesy, but this today is about changing the GR Yaris into our tribute rally spec. It has not been easy choosing the colours. Of course, green and red, but there are lots and lots of greens and red, believe me. And given we're also working from a slightly different base because we have the pearlescent paint job, as you can see under the lights inside here, but this will be a modern tribute, we could say, in terms of the design. It's got the lining tape on one side, which can be mirrored to the other when these are being plotted, and then we can start the installation. In the meantime, I'm going to go play SEGA Rally. It would be wrong if we don't give this a go, and I'm joined, by the way, by Tom the car dude. Tom has bbeen helping with loads of things recently, including this crazy project. In fact, he's pretty much responsible for that car to begin with. Here we go. I'm going Celica, you're going Integrale. Yeah. This is blast from the past stuff. Easy course. Alright. Few change, gotta see the car. Yeah. So many memories. Go, you've got the lead. Not for long, I hope. I'm competitive, just a bit. Every single person who comes to, yes, got the overtake. Every single person that comes to visit the Shmuseum is going to have to set a time. It's going to be like a rule. I'm on the inside line. Yes, through the inside. Oh no, you're coming straight back past. Oh no, this is the last corner.
Yes, I've got you.
You're going to have it. You're going to win this one. He says, what's happening? Last corner overtake. Come on. Yeah, as the Stradman would say, yes.
St. George Russell again.
Amazing. Right, back to the car. This is a little render that the team at Dub have put together to give an idea. It's not the final design, but you can see, for example, here behind the front wheels, you've got the green, then you've got the red. I've put together a rough outline of how I want to have it around towards the back. And then here, they actually ran with two different designs. Sometimes they had that half-moon semicircle. Sometimes they had that layout that you see around the rest of the car. So this is just an idea of what it's going to look like. We're going to change some things as we go to work it around, for example, the headlights and the different parts, because, of course, it's not exactly the same shape. We're doing this on a hot hatch as opposed to a sports car with a completely different layout and configuration. So we're going to do the best we can, but first up is to go and plot, or actually to measure out various parts of the car to plot out the different shapes from the vinyl. Part one with the material is to trim it down so it can be plotted out, so making sure the width is approximately right so that we can make the shapes out of it. So obviously starting with the red, well, we've got the red and the green to go, and then taking it through the plotter so that we can start making the right shapes. As you can see, working with lots of templates, the Dub guy's setting all of this up. We're also going to be putting a number frame on the side of the door, plus some more logos and things that we'll get to a little bit later on, but this is all going to hopefully come together very nicely. It's test fit time, so using black vinyl because we've got a limited amount of the green and the red. So this is just a tester, having taken a photo of the lines on the car, translated them through software to the plotter to make the shapes. As you can see here, this works perfectly, coming up from the side sill, just overlapping the door. Obviously that will be trimmed, going back round, and this would be the red. But here, for example, we've noticed that we need to make it a touch shorter because of the way the design comes together up here. Then for the roof line, you can see it needs to go a little further back and slightly change the shape that we've got here. But by working with this to start means that we'll be able to get this absolutely spot on. Oh yes, and also extend it just here. Spot on when it's all done and all in place. We have been trying a slightly different approach. So you can see here on the masking film that we've got, I have been drawing out the shapes. So this is effectively the C-pillar. That's the roof line coming all the way along. We've done the rear arches. In fact, we've done just about all of the parts. So this makes it slightly more accurate than we had before. Now cutting out the material to the right sizes to make sure we have all of those bits and pieces. And if you come back over here, we've just done the ones on the bonnet. The guys have cut those out in black again just so we can check, but you can see how the shapes are just a little bit more tidy and they fit more smoothly together. This is just going to be adjusted ever so slightly. This comes down towards the front. This will be in red. Gives a loop around here. The green one comes around and loops around that side. And then, well, all of the current lines and masking are going to be removed, but it helps significantly to have that to start from, to get a feel, to then effectively wrap the shapes with the masking material and then to draw it on the top. So I was holding a permanent marker up to my car, which was a little bit nerve-wracking, but nonetheless, it's going all right. We're making some progress, and yeah, we'll have to do all of that side and then mirror it for the other side. After far too many goes of SEGA Rally and taking top spot as many times as possible on the machines, we've now done another test fit of the panels back here, which are looking superb. We've gone around all of the others, and if I just swing over here, you can see some of the red that has now been plotted out, ready to go on. So this is the rear section, and basically the parts that are going to go around. So I can't wait to see what those are going to look like on the car. Check this out then. We've got the red section up here on the roof fitted. The grey is currently a test fit before it gets plotted and then fitted in green. I actually quite like the red, grey and black colour scheme, but we are going to be staying true to the red and the green as we have up here. Now normally on the full livery, on the Celica in the game for example, you have Castrol, you have Toyota Racing Development and a few other sponsors. We're going to have to change things just a little bit with what we can do on this car. And remember, this design continues beneath the headlight as well. Obviously on this side, not much going on yet. We come around towards here and it is starting to look pretty cool already. I can't wait to have all of this fitted. It's going to be a monster. Fast forward a little bit and look at this. We're starting to have some more parts installed, and check this out. To be honest, with the size of the arches that this car has on the rear axle, that just looks mega the way it's shaped up. We've got the green parts installed, obviously some trimming and things still needed to finish it off, but this is very, very nice. Now, like I said, we're going to be putting on the number outlines for here. We're not going to be putting a number on because you can't actually drive a car on the road with a number on without striking it through. I'd rather just leave it without. So we've got some small logos that will go basically at the top of here when that is done. We've got some logos that we're working out for here as well, some GR ones, some bonnet logos, plenty more that are currently being planned out basically in terms of where they're going to go and what's going to be on here. I'm loving the way that this comes down through the headlight, a little bit like how it was on the Celica, albeit very different lights, because these are significantly more modern than the lights of 2.5 decades ago, which were, I guess, lower in the car, small round lights, and just meant that we had to come up with a new style. But looking at the start of this, it is going to be so good when it's completed. Have a look at what we've got here. We've just launched the new Cheers by Shmuseum shop. We've got lots of fresh designs, plenty of things for you guys to check out. Some of them you can see here on the bonnet of the GR Yaris. I'll put all the information though down below so you can go and see what else we've added at the new Cheers by Shmuseum shop. But progress here is going pretty well. You might be wondering one thing, what's going to happen with the wheels? Well, this being the circuit pack means it comes with the 18-inch forged BBS wheel, which is a very lightweight wheel to begin with, which is of course what you want, unsprung mass naturally. So I'm not sure if we're going to change them, if we're going to change the colours. We'll have to see a little bit down the line. We won't be doing that immediately, but for the time being, making some good progress overall. It's not going to be too long now until we can see the finished result. On goes the red part that goes on the roof. Obviously, coming together at the back, then adding the green around it, and also going to be adding the sections at the back. And you might have noticed I'd put the number plate on the front, but haven't done at the back because the design will be, in a way, underneath it. Now, another thing to talk about that you can see on this side are some of the badges. We've got the Toyota badge, we've added the Toyota GR Racing, of course the responsible team for this car to begin with. I didn't want to go with brands that aren't the car itself, so we will probably make use of the GR4 logo maybe somewhere, just adding different bits and pieces and seeing how it goes. Bit of trial and error, to be honest. It is now well into the night, but take a look at this. Nearly completed, a couple more things still to be done, but just feast your eyes on our tribute rally livery on the GR Yaris. We've got the Toyota logo worn on the bonnet, we've got the livery all around, we've got the number placement areas on the side. There are a couple more details and stickers that are still going to be going onto it. For example, around here at the back, we've gone with Toyota on one side, we're going to put the GR logo on the other side, but of course these things might be changed or updated in future as we have some new parts and different things that are happening on this project. It's just the start to give it the livery, to give it the design, and to go from racing in this style of livery on a Toyota rally car in SEGA Rally to hopefully doing it at some point in future with this. Just mega. So a few more details and small touches to go. It is actually now about 4 something in the morning, but it is complete. A big thanks to the guys here at Dub Customs. The little rally car is now in its first stages. The livery is complete. A tribute to the Celica GT-four in the Castrol livery with the red and the green, looking fantastic. Now, like I've said, this is going to be a big project. There are lots of things in the works being discussed for what we should do already. I do need to think about the wheels though, whether I should maybe make these wheels either perhaps in the pearlescent white or maybe in a much brighter gloss white, rally style after all. There are some other options out there, but they're a touch heavier, which goes against the performance ambitions, I guess, of the car. But the overall look is totally spot on. You can see we've also added the GR4 badges, which are in a way a bit of tribute to the GT4 of the Celica GR4 that you have on the back of this, and now with the last final badges completed on it too. I'm sure the exhaust is going to be something in the works very, very soon, but this car is very much, well, from the off, the kind of base that you want. It's four-wheel drive, it's a lot of fun to drive, and I'm looking forward to getting it out on the roads and actually starting to enjoy it, because at this point, I've only driven it on collection day in the pouring rain, and then to drive it here to Dub Customs in the pouring rain. So I haven't actually had an opportunity to enjoy it myself yet. It needs to have a little bit of a run-in. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think probably the usual 500 to 1,000 miles or so of not completely maxing it out. And then in the spring, it'll be time to get it out onto the Nürburgring, across Europe, I'm sure, when it's had a few upgrades by that point as well. And of course, that's going to be finding its way into the Shmuseum at some point as well. Spent far too much time playing on it today to get some pretty solid times on the SEGA Rally. Got it down, if anybody's ever played it, for the championship mode to about 3 minutes 25.8 or so, which I thought was quite good, but I guess that comes from playing it way too much overall. Anyway, don't forget as well that we have now launched the Cheers by Shmuseum shop. You can find that down below. As you can probably tell, totally exhausted. Thanks though again to everyone here. This is epic. Looking forward to the adventures ahead. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.